I have the best audio luck, apparently. Alright, well, hi guys. Welcome to episode 164 of Journey to the Farlands. I wanted to kind of make this episode a bit more of a Q&A, almost like a refresher, or for like people who haven't been here for, haven't heard the same old rigmarole. I'm just going to make this whole episode about that. So, there might be some neat stuff in here, I guess, for people who've already watched a bunch. Or people who aren't here for the first time. I'm gonna start with that stuff. But yeah, this is beta 1.7.3. We are playing this world called Journey to the Farlands. I've been doing it for about 11 months. In 3 days, it'll be 11 months. Almost daily. I've taken definitely some breaks, but it's been basically concurrent throughout the entire 11 months. And we've gone about 3 million, 3.3, almost 3.4 million. Um, I've kind of I've switched directions, of course. I originally, back in August, planned on going to the regular Farlands at first. It was just Journey to the Farlands. And then I made the decision a few 100,000 blocks in. I think it was around 200k. This was not on stream. I'll get into that. But I yeah I decided to change direction to the corner Farlands, and I haven't really done anything different since. So it's that was back in August, so it's been about just as long since I been walking diagonally like this. Of course, I did some like walking in a straight line, like the zigzag thing where I walk this way and then this way. But I'm generally going to the corner. And this is kind of just more or less an archive of all that. I don't really expect people to watch every second of it. It's more or less just an archive, just so it's somewhere. It's not the journey in its entirety. There's like 2 months before they started the series, because I started at 1 million on the series, so we've only really gone like 2 million on the series. But yeah, I guess to answer any questions about that, I didn't really think, or I didn't really consider streaming this series at first when I first started it. I kind of was like, why should I stream this? I didn't really have a reason to. I didn't think it was very interesting. I was just doing Newcraft at the time, which is an SMP I used to play on. I hosted it. Um, but yeah, I just decided that I would, not stream this. At the beginning of the series, I was just like, I'm just gonna do this for myself. This is just gonna be I don't need to archive it. I don't need to do any of that. And then when kind of October rolled around, that was when I started actually like streaming this series anyway. Episode 1, Walk into Oblivion, which is my Twitch notification. It's very iconic, I guess you could say. But it was a lot of different things kind of happened back in like October and November and whatnot, because I started in October. I started streaming commentary only episodes, so I was only doing commentary. So I did like I think the first 12 episodes of Journey of the Farlands, like this series, is commentary only. And then after that, Fig kind of showed up and suggested doing an archive, which Figonomics is another YouTuber who went to the Farlands. I believe he's still doing another series on it. In Alpha, I believe. That's what I saw last. But yeah, he's done a lot of that world border tracking and Farland stuff. So yeah, he suggested I do a complete archive, which I thought made sense after I talked to him about it a little bit in the comments. And I eventually decided, I'm just gonna stream no commentary episodes. And that's why there's like 90, like I don't even know what the percentage is. It's a majority of the episodes of the series are non-commentary. Just because I stream this like every day, and trust me, I do not have enough topics to keep me going for like an hour-long episode for 7 days a week kind of thing. Like I streamed one at like last night, like early this morning. Technically, like I streamed it before I went to bed, and I did one yesterday morning. So you can see I do like a lot of streaming of this series, and I try to do commentary, but I don't really. I just kind of go off my own, what I talk about myself. So it's kind of difficult to keep that momentum, especially for multi-hour long episodes kind of thing. I have done it. I just did a 6-hour episode where I talked to Devin the whole time, but that was because I was talking to him, and I can't really do that whole conversation style video every time. So yeah, there's gonna be no commentary episodes. I know people ask about it, but it's just purely just due to the rate I make these. I could just do commentary only, but that would also sacrifice a lot of time or that would not sacrifice, but that would be basically eliminating a lot of my options. Because basically, like an hour episode, that's long. That's like 3 times a 20-minute video or 20-minute episode kind of thing. So that's like, I do long episodes, even at 1 hour. And not to mention the multi-hour episodes, because I'm sure today's episode will probably be multi-hour or something. Because I'm basically just going to be playing until Devin reaches out to me about Oldcraft, and then I'm going to stream that, and then I'm going to go to bed, and then not stream at all tomorrow. Because I just won't have time. Got a party and all sorts of stuff. But anyway, I guess I'll get back to what I was talking about. But yeah, Journey to the Farlands, no commentary. Yeah, so expect a lot of no commentary. Expect some commentary, and I wouldn't expect every commentary episode to be absolutely perfect, because I don't always, even when I feel like doing a commentary episode, I don't always have the subjects to talk about. I'm still like I just don't. I just like I do have the skills to be able to communicate and whatnot and talk about things and attempt to be entertaining, but that only goes so far. I think probably most people watching this, once they realize that I've done this like pretty much every day, multi-hour almost, or usually like 1 hour, but sometimes multi-hour. But yeah, just at that rate, that it's not really possible unless I have like an active chat or people commenting, which I do technically have both, but it's not sustainable enough to make every episode commentary. And even if it was, I don't know if I would do that anyway. I think I would have enough like content, even if I did have an active chat and whatnot, to just do it every once in a while. And if people do start showing up and sticking around for multiple episodes, pretty much every stream I do, kind of thing, and like every YouTube upload and all that, I might just start recording no commentary and then just only streaming commentary episodes. I don't know. I'll get around to that when I really kind of make up my mind on that. And of course, when it becomes relevant. But yeah, I guess I should start going through my list. That's kind of the summary of the series. And I guess my channel. I started uploading to this channel, or at least streaming on Twitch, in July of last year with Newcraft 3, which was the 3rd season of Newcraft, and SMP I hosted, of course. I mentioned that a few minutes ago. But yeah, I did Newcraft 3, and then I did Journey to the Farlands, and then Newcraft 4, and then the Fellowship, and Sarber, and Newcraft 1 Part 2. So there's a lot of different things. I wouldn't go skimming through all those videos. They're not. I wouldn't really like Journey to the Farlands. Maybe there's definitely some good episodes. A lot of the earlier episodes were technical error abound kind of deal, where there's just volume problems and like I don't know about audio problems, but there was a lot of like dropped frames, which I did not fix for a long time. So that lag stuck around for I don't even know how many episodes, because that was a thing a few months ago I did. So it definitely would have been like a few dozen episodes ago that I actually fixed that. I think it was around the episode 100 mark. So yeah, like 60 episodes ago. But yeah, I guess I'll start going through some of the questions I get frequently asked, and some I just came up with myself too, like talking points, just to kind of keep the momentum going throughout the episode. I'm gonna actually try and ramble on a little bit so I don't cut things off prematurely. I'm gonna try and make everything and not make it like overly long. Of course, I just want to like ramble on a little bit, like enough. I want to try and walk that line a little bit. But yeah, I'll think of like the most relevant thing right now. Oh, that's a good one. I wrote some stuff down. I didn't write exact references for people. I might do that from here on out. Like if I ever do read comments, and I've tried to do it. Of course, a lot of these I wrote down myself, so I don't really have to worry about that. But in the future, I will give people shout outs and whatnot for comments and all that jazz. But the first thing I kind of came up with was kind of what kept me going. That was something that came up a long time ago, even back early in the series, where people were asking me what kept me motivated, because I know people struggle with motivation for Minecraft worlds. Even I do, of course, with like Java and whatnot. Like all these SMPs I've played on, I've definitely struggled. So I don't exactly know the cure. I just know that Journey to the Farlands was different. It I don't know. I'm far more motivated with Journey to the Farlands. I think that's just due to the sheer nature of the series. Like I was doing it as kind of like a tribute or kind of to honor Tinfoil Chef. So I think that base already, like I kind of felt that, and yeah, and by no means was this to like copy him or anything. I just really cared for his channel and his series and his very I the veteran Minecrafter side of me really you know like I really like the old Minecrafter kind of play style, and PFC kind of embodied all of that. It was also funny too. So yeah, so it's not really meant to poke or prod or anything. It was just meant as like a kind of honor thing, like just that kind of thing. But yeah, I think that was a very solid foundation. Of course, my interest in the Farlands was pretty great at the beginning of the series. I think it's good to start at the beginning because that's basically what set the whole series. Basically, what they set the pace for everything. It set the tone. I mean, I was just so fascinated with old Minecraft because I had never done anything like this before. I played old Minecraft. I'd never touched beta all that much, actually, like prior to Journey of the Farlands. Believe it or not, I started in release versions. I think it was release 1.6. I started playing in 2012, or it might have been, or even earlier than that, 1.3. I don't remember what version came out in 2012 when I started playing. It was June. I'm sure someone in the comments can answer that. It's probably like 1.3 to 1.6 or something, one of those. But yeah, yeah, it's unique though because I never got the experience of playing old Minecraft. I think I surely did watch, YouTubers play old Minecraft, and even with like Evo SMP with green and stuff. I I was kind of acquainted with some of these versions, although to kind of show how little I knew back, like what was that, 6 years ago? I thought Evo took place in alpha in the beginning, but it was actually beta. That was actually a surprise to me when I started looking, like researching Minecraft versions, where I was like, wait, early alpha looks way different to what early Evo looked like. And I was like, oh, because it's a completely different stage of Minecraft. But yeah, I really did not know as much as I know now. And I don't know, I just have this very deep fascination with not only just the Farlands, not only like old Minecraft in general, but also the Farlands. This unique terrain bug. Yeah, I guess I could also kind of explain some of that. The Farlands is like this mathematical error in the code, basically, in the world gen code, where I think it has to do with Perlin noise, the world generation, like the way it's generated, how the train is generated, basically, and it has to do with something. I'm kind of butchering it right now, so there's better places to go for actual technical knowledge on it. But I think it has to do with something called octaves and something with the terrain stacking or or completely going berserk, specifically at the Farland like limit or whatever, or like where they start, which is 12.5 million, 12,550,821 or 824. I don't remember. I think I think Advena mentioned a bug where they could spawn closer, and that's where I got the 821. I think that's what it is, but I don't really care. Like 3 blocks, not that big of a difference when you're talking in the millions anyway. Um, but So yeah, I just had a deep fascination with this like terrain bug, the Farlands. It's just something so unique, and in the fact that people have walked to the Farlands, and that I could try it. I never really thought I would try anything like this, but here I am. Doing this journey, 11 months in, 3 million, like pretty much almost a quarter of the way to the Farlands at this, or I guess we're past a quarter. We're almost a third of the way to the Farlands. And so it's interesting. It's definitely interesting. Well, that was definitely quite the rambling on going on. But yeah, that keeps me going. You guys, I mean, how can I not talk about this and not, or how can I talk about this and not mention you guys? Of course, you guys in the comments and in the chat. Whenever people show up, there's like pretty much everybody's like very nice, and even when they do ask questions, I'm like, or if they're like, why do you play old Minecraft? I try to approach it from I like to answer that kind of stuff. I mean, I guess I'll get into that. That's one of my points. But yeah, it's it's nice though having you guys motivate me as well. People saying keep on going, and you know all that stuff. It's great. It's wonderful. And all the support, of course. We're almost at 200 subscribers on YouTube, so we're definitely getting. I mean, I'm definitely quite a distance from where I was, in times past. But yeah, you guys are a huge player in that motivation. And definitely something keeping me wanting to get on this road. And I think it's more or less just this long-term motivation. It's less this. It's less, taking this. I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain. But it's more kind of the grand scheme of it all that intrigues me. But now this like scaling it back, just like me walking, the coordinates shifting like this. It's it's nice. It's nice. It motivates me, the greater Farlands getting there. But I think it's just the journey in general too. Because it's pretty much all about the journey in this series. Like you're not getting to the Farlands um like without the journey. Like it's a huge part. It's gonna be 99.9% of the series, I'm sure, or 99%. I don't know. It depends on what I do at the Farlands and what not after that. But yeah, that's kind of what keeps me going on the series. I'm just really motivated by you guys and the original foundation the series was built upon. Um, let me look through my list and see if I could find any good transition from that point. Oh, I guess that also works. The effects the series has had on day-to-day life for me, which it definitely has. It's basically the equivalent of me it's like the equivalent of playing a game for like an hour or two a day. But that's what it is, like, precisely. But it's a little bit different because it's just me walking. I'm just pressing W, maybe space bar, and some AS and D, maybe some mouse movement every once in a while. But but yes, it definitely has had an effect. Of course, it definitely uses up a good amount of time. I mean, you'd expect, I believe, accounting for the walking speed. I think to get to the regular Farlands, if you're just walking like a super flat world, basically like no, like jumping, no swimming, no boating, it would take. I think I've heard 33 days in real life if you, like of walking. 33 days of IRL walking, or not IRL walking, 33 days IRL in real time of in-game walking. There we go. Oh goodness. Yeah, it's a wicked endeavor. It's a lot. It's unfathomable. I'm sure to most. 33 days. But the whole series is kind of just breaking that down pretty much like into smaller chunks, like hour chunks and whatnot. And, it's just about trying to make it manageable for me. Like I kind of do most stuff based off my own motivation anyways, and I am greatly motivated for this series. There's nothing slowing me down. And I don't really feel like negatively towards this series. I love it. It's my favorite. I mean, there's a reason why I've done 164 of these now. But yeah, it's just so interesting, the idea. So that motivation kind of helps me. Of course, that plays into how it affects day-to-day life. But usually I try and do Journey to the Farlands as like the last thing in my day. Sometimes the first if I know my day is gonna be busy. But I try to like place it when I don't have a lot of time, if that makes sense. I don't want to give myself too much time to do this series. Not because I think I'll burn out. I won't burn out. Clearly, I don't burn out from Journey to the Farlands. If I do, it would be like, I actually don't even know how burnout would be for a series like this. But anyway, yeah, I just make it nice and manageable. And if I do want to do longer episodes, I'll give myself like more or less like a day or an evening or an afternoon kind of thing. And I just see where I get kind of thing. And that's more like where I that's usually a no commentary episode where I pull out like my iPad and watch a YouTube series or TV show for like that time. And I of course take breaks too, because it definitely takes a toll after a while. I mean, it's gaming, but the repetitiveness of just sitting and just moving my hand just a little bit, I definitely need to take breaks, especially if I do multi-hour episodes. I try to. Like I know last night's episode I probably could have. It was like I think it was like 2 hours, so it was okay. I could have taken a mid-stream break. I think I might have. But yeah, it's important for me to take breaks, of course, and I mean everybody take breaks to make sure you're hydrated and all that jazz. And I do that, making sure of all the things. I'm gonna have a quick sip though, of my drink. Yeah, it definitely has had an effect, just through the sheer amount of time I've devoted to this series, like hundreds of hours, and it'll be over 1,000 by the end of the series, which doesn't actually sound like a whole lot, but it is. I'm sure to some it sounds like a lot, and then to some it sounds like none. Because I know some people put wicked amounts of time into games, like tens of, or not even tens of thousands, but like I'm sure upwards of 12,000 hours. And some people are like 12,000 hours, that's crazy. But I know people who put that much time into games they really care about. I don't even know how much time I put into Minecraft. I could have put that much time in easily over the past decade plus. I have no idea, because there's no real easy way of tracking that. Yeah, I guess I can move on to something else since I kind of made all that stuff fairly clear. That spider is in the way. Why do I go to the corner Farlands? That's another one I get pretty often. So why not just the regular old Farlands? I kind of talked about a little bit earlier. I'm just kind of fascinated by the corner, even more so than just the regular old Farlands. I think it's kind of just neat to be able to see two edges of the world, kind of the corner of the world. I called it Oblivion in episode 1. Basically just walking into Oblivion, like just forever, just walking. That's basically what it seems like. And that thing I got to, where it's just so much time that it just feels like you're never gonna get there. I mean, it doesn't feel like that for me. Like, I know I'm gonna get there someday, but it's just little by little, drop in the bucket. Another episode. I could probably trace back over a bunch of episode titles. I might even do that for the 1 year anniversary. Maybe I'll do like an episode where I just go through every single episode and kind of figure out where or what kind of relevancy it had to the series, or to what exactly. Just like the name origins and stuff, because that's kind of something I've wanted to explain, because I know some of you guys might be able to pick up on some of them, but there's like dozens of them. There's dozens of references in my episode titles. It's kind of like a game I like to play, almost, where I like to make the episodes have fun titles. I don't know if they're exactly the most like attention grabby. Some of them might be a little bit. I know it's like some of them with like popular quotes and stuff tend to be popular, or like mentioning certain terms like shenaniganry. I know Foray into Shenaniganry was a really good episode, and The Limit Exists was also a really good episode. That was a reference to Mean Girls. What else? Yeah, there's a bunch though. I can go on for days, I'm sure. But why the corner? I don't even know where I trailed off there, but yeah, why go to the corner? I found it so cool how the Farlands just kind of converged, or not converged. I don't know what the word is. They kind of, I kind of say meet, but the Farland is kind of just like this. Farlands is kind of just this area 12 million blocks away from spawn, 12.5 million blocks, and it's just a box, really. Well, the box of the normal world, and then it just goes on, and then there's just further classifications of Farlands. So technically, what you see is technically just the beginning of the Farlands, and so it's not really. It's kind of ironic how I'll never see the end of the Farlands. Maybe. I don't know if you could drive irony out of that. I don't know if that's actually ironic at all, but yeah, it's just interesting how that's just the beginning, and that's just 12.5 million blocks. It goes on for billions and quadrillions of blocks, quintillions, I even think, before the world. I mean, before it starts shutting, like the train just completely, it poops itself basically, and just there's nothing but a void kind of thing. And I know kind of most of that from Ant Venom. Ant Venom's definitely showing off a bunch of that, and another channel as well. I don't remember exactly what channel it was. It was a channel that did a video on the Farlands. Though I'm sure if people are looking up Farlands, they probably know a fair bit about it. Because there's not really many ways to get to this channel unless you get it recommended. I know a lot of people get this as like suggested videos, like through the algorithm. I'm sure that, I mean, Devin has kind of pointed out that the sheer quantity, like Devin mentioned that the sheer quantity of the episodes, like the amount, I think definitely weighs in on the algorithm, and it's like, oh, lots of episodes, gotta, bring this out to people kind of thing. And I think the channel definitely gets a lot of attention through that. I don't really advertise the channel on like any really platforms or anything. I don't really have community like social media accounts, but yeah. Yeah, just general interest and whatnot. That's what that basically is all about. Why choose the corner of the world rather than just the edge of normality. That's a good one. I play old versions. That's one that I have written down on the list here. I just kind of play them just because it they just work. I don't know. There's definitely a bit of nostalgia there. A lot of enjoyment, like I said. Yeah. But it's just, I don't know, it's something different. There's a different feel to it than the newer updates of the game, of course. Yeah, I'd say. Because I know a lot of people like to ask, why play the old updates and whatnot. And, a lot of people kind of almost are like, why don't you just play new stuff, like there's new updates, why don't... But there's a certain charm, and I mean, I do play modern Minecraft a lot. I was playing it today, but there's definitely something different. There's that nostalgia factor, and that the game is a lot more simple, a lot more robust. Actually, I don't know if I'd say robust, it's pretty buggy, but it can have, it definitely has some stability though. And the limited palette, like the constraints on like block palette, definitely but I mean, it definitely almost causes you to be a bit more creative. I mean, there's a lot of creativity in modern Minecraft, but I just think maybe like limiting the palette can cause you to be a bit more creative and like coming up with different solutions and for things, like problems with building. It's definitely different building in beta versus building in release, like 1.20 for example, like most modern stuff, where you just have so many blocks you can choose from to decorate and whatnot. Oh, what? Oh, I didn't really get... Oh, I guess I got a good amount of conversation out of that. Why? Oh yeah, that one I wrote down, because I thought maybe people might wonder about why there's kind of that inherent lack of other content. Like other, even like Java or the other worlds and whatnot. And I think it's just because this, I think the motivation plays a huge factor in that. I feel much more motivated to just, I think it's the easiest to do this series, and I have the most motivation for it. It's the simplest to just boot up and just walk, rather than just play modern Minecraft. There's a difference there. I'm still trying to keep up, of course, with Java, because I got lots of people, of course, wanting to see that, and of course the people aren't my friends, whatnot, but yeah, I'm just trying to keep it interesting and try and go by what I want to do, which is a bit difficult when all I want to do is this here. I also got modded. Oh yeah, modded. Yeah, I gotta edit that. I'll do that Saturday maybe, so that'll come out this weekend, or if I have time tonight, might be later. But yes, that's kind of why I haven't uploaded anything else. Just because it's a bit more tricky to get that motivation. Gotta get a bed place though. see if I can outrun this spider. Oh no, it didn't chase after me. Oh, there's something good. Like, just based off like experience with other stuff, like things like Minecraft Through Time and Hardcore Adventures and stuff. I had a lot of fun, but I don't know if that momentum really carried forward. I think also my huge break I took, or not huge, it was like a month, that might have hindered my kind of drive to play those worlds. And Newcraft had a bit of a different reason why I didn't upload it. It was kind of a bit of that, like a lot. It wasn't really breaks or anything. It was more or less just the player base itself. But yeah, that's all, most of that's all kind of water under the bridge though with Java now. It's more or less just different issues now. Oh yeah, there's some peoples in the chat. Hello. I'm just doing some Q&A stuff for my series here during the Farlands. Apologies if you missed any of the previous stuff, because I can just go over some earlier stuff too. But yes. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of points I had written down. I guess I could cross out some of them since I already did a bunch. Why the lack of other content? I covered old Minecraft, the corner Farlands rather than just the regular Farlands. The effects the series has on day-to-day life for me. Okay. Oh, that would be a good one if I found like terrain, but I do take 2 screenshots. If you stick around long enough and you see me take a screenshot of like a landscape, I do 2 screenshots, and I do one like this, and then one like this. And I think the reason I do that is just because I might want to go back to things with like single player commands and like a world like after the fact kind of thing. Or even like outposts and whatnot to get like for like, coordinates and things. So I kind of just do that as like a almost precautionary thing. Well, not even precautionary, but kind of just like a measure I take just so I can go back. I do a lot of that stuff, that like documentation. I try to put it in the YouTube videos as well, like the box covered. And I have a notebook where I write my coordinates, like across each day, just so I can at least know when I broke certain milestones if I forget. I like to write things down, basically is what I'm trying to say. I like document. I guess that kind of comes with such a journey as this such a huge task. Is that since it takes such a long time, I'm going through so many different thought processes. Kind of just figuring things out. I'm figuring out what I want to do and what, or like where I'd want to go and like specials and whatnot. That gives me a lot of help. I can go back to like cool milestones and that kind of thing if I ever do want to do that kind of stuff. I have done stuff like that in the past where I went like to spawn again in one of my backups I made. I went through a bunch of those backups. It was kind of neat because I got to look back and kind of be like, wow, that was cool. And I think even yesterday when I was streaming, I kind of almost felt a little bit of nostalgia. More short term, of course, because this series is only like a year old. So it would really only be like nostalgia for like a year ago, which is kind of minute. But this whole series is just so, it's something greater. There's something greater, of course. You know, the journey. I mean, sure it is me doing it, but it's just, it feels so momentous and all that jazz. But yeah, that's kind of why I take 2 screenshots, just so I can keep track and also have a cinematic screenshot in case I want to show like friends or you guys. or just do it as thumbnails. You know, landscapes without any hotbar or anything. And I've done that before, and sometimes it like I usually let YouTube auto pick thumbnails for these videos since, there's like 100 of them now, over 100. So it's, I guess almost 200 now, geez, like 40 away from 200. But yeah, I just let YouTube do it. And if I don't really like YouTube's one, then I'll just pick one from the episode if I can remember. That's what I shall do, and that's what I do. And I just try and do that. And especially for like specials and whatnot, I like to set like the thumbnail as like whatever big thing it was. Like if it's a 1,000,000 block milestone, then I do the 1,000,000 block totem or whatever I build. Like that like pole I build out of the slabs. I usually have that be the thumbnail. Or for like the first episode, if I had the very first episode, like I set my Discord profile to like screenshots I took of Journey to the Farlands. Like that was before I did the YouTube/Twitch for this series, where I would change my Discord profile and I would do it for like whatever was prominent at the time. I'm sure the first episode of Journey to the Farlands would have been my picture of the sign on the island at spawn. That was basically saying I guess like a tribute to this world. It's like a tribute to honor TFC and his kind of legacy basically. And it was like my starter base there, which was just a hole in the ground. I probably could have gotten a bit more creative with a starter base rather than just doing a hole in the ground. It was very fitting for a starter base of mine. Just to dig like a spiral staircase down to bedrock almost, or I guess diamond layer, and do just excessive amounts of mining. That was a lot of mining. And I actually I don't think I did that much mining after that. I think that was probably the most mining I've ever done in this series was at the beginning. It was hours of it. There would have been a lot if I had recorded it all back then. It would have been, or recorded it all. It would have been like a whole ton of mining, a whole whack ton, multiple episodes. I'm sure. Even at the outposts, I do like multiple episodes of mining because I like to try and have a good supply of diamonds, so I don't have to worry about using iron or anything lower than that. Because iron is kind of, I don't know, it does not last nearly as long as diamond, so I prefer diamond. It just means I have to mine for a lot longer when I stop. That's why I call outposts, by the way. It's whenever I stop to actually get materials like properly, rather than just my beds or my crafting breaks, and those are nice, but they're not bases. Yeah, I call them outposts. I don't know why. I just kind of at some point in the beginning of the series, like the first month, I was just like outpost 1. And then I just never forgot about that until January of this year when I was like, yep, we're doing the outpost now. So yes, that's kind of the whole gist of the outpost. But yeah, I'll move on to one of the other topics because I'm already almost at an hour and I still have a good few more. And I can just kind of go loop back around to other things, and I don't know if anyone's here in the chat right now. I think someone might be watching, but you can also ask questions. I'm sure if you have any. If you might have any, you can ask away, or just listen as well, because I still have a few more I can go through. If not, right. Oh yeah. Okay. I'll just talk about one more thing that a lot of people have talked about. A lot. I mean, a lot. Or not a lot. Like, I mean, like a few. Like a handful. But it's been mentioned enough times for me to be like, okay, I should probably talk about this formally. So, so the kind of big age-old question of Journey to the Farlands, I guess, is why not use the nether? Why not go to the nether roof? And I'll answer the nether roof first. That's the easiest one to answer. I think I talked about this in an earlier episode, but I'm just kind of compiling it all. This is like a good introductory episode to the series, even though it's the 164th episode. Look, I don't make the rules. I just film the stuff, and whatever happens, I just talk about. Anyway, the nether roof you can't really access. I don't really think. And even if I were able to get on the nether roof, the world height is 128 blocks. So the bedrock is the limit. So I can't build like another portal. I'm basically just stuck up there. I don't think there is a way to easily traverse the nether roof in beta. Someone can correct me on that if I'm wrong. But that's what I've gathered because I haven't seen anyone else try that, so I'm assuming not. I'm assuming not. But yeah, and then why not the nether like overall? Mainly I just don't do the nether because it's not really all that appealing to do the journey in. Like that's like the little pet peeve thing. Well, it's not really a pet peeve, it's just that the nether is just annoying. It's not difficult. I mean, it's difficult to traverse, of course, but it's not inherently difficult. I think the modern nether, if you were to do like a Journey of the Farlands style series in the nether in modern Minecraft, yeah, it would not be as fun. But it's also not really that fun in beta because the nether isn't all that interesting. It does not change like the overworld does. The terrain doesn't change. It's just constant, and it's. I mean, sure, it's 1.5 million. I think I calculated it to be around 1.5 million because it's times 8. Yeah, I guess it's around 1.5 million blocks in the nether because it's 8 times the overworld, whatever. But I don't think that's enough to convince me to go just completely through the nether. It just, I don't know. I think like, people are like, yeah, you could just pack food and blocks and you're good. And I've definitely tried that for my nether ventures. And sure, I could have planned them better. But I just, I don't know. I don't really like the idea of doing the nether for the whole series, or even like most of it. I do it every once in a while, and sure, maybe in a few months' time, if I, or even in the anniversary month, if I decide to, I want to the progress, kickstart it, then yeah, I very well may just continue the series, doing Nether Venture, like a longer Nether Venture, and even the shorter ones, they're great, like but it's a lot shorter. It's harder to walk, but you're going further. So I don't know. If you guys want to do a Journey of the Farlands in the Nether, be my guest. Go ahead. Surprise me. Get to the Farlands in the Nether. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying it's tricky. And I just rather just do the traditional route of the overworld. Even if I'm doing the less efficient way, which is walking diagonally. But I have more interest in the corner Farlands anyway, so I'm not gonna shift direction and go to the regular Farlands at this point. I've already dedicated, these 11 months to going to the corner, so might as well just keep that momentum. But yeah, that's why I don't do the Nether. I prefer the overworld for traversing. It gets much easier. It's slower, sure, by like 11 million blocks, but that's all on paper, you know. When you're actually in the Nether and you're doing the journey and you're starting to feel the weight of having to walk 1.5 million blocks in the Nether, I struggle to make it even 10,000. I don't even know how far I made it in the Nether Venture, because that was a three-parter. That was part of a megasode. I haven't done one of those in a while. I haven't really had the reason to. We haven't done any like outposts or anything like that, or I haven't done any minisodes either. But I haven't also really had any reason to do those either. And I gotta come up with a new kind of thing, new format for the anniversary month, because I'm gonna basically just do like almost a month of episodes. Would be normal, basically normal filming, maybe a bit of extended episodes every once in a while if I can, but just have a nice name attached to it, and it'll be like a month long event. I might do like things that I might do like certain things. Oh, red needle. Got to point it to spawn, or got to make sure it's pointing that way. That's how I know I'm going to where I want to go. But yeah, the nether's just not for me. So go ahead if you want to. And I'm sure the people who ask about the nether won't be the last. It won't be my last time I'm mentioning it. I'll probably just mention it in the comments from now on. I probably won't. I've already talked about it a bunch, so I figure I'll probably just let that be a comments thing I can discuss. But that's kind of the long and short of that. Right, now the final segment of the video. I don't know if I'll actually continue the commentary after an hour, because I don't got. I guess I could make it a bit more of a normal episode after that. I still have things to say. But all right, now I'm gonna move on to a bit of some different stuff. This next one is I only had one episode to think about these, so I might have to think about some more on the spot if I need more. My camera's angled weirdly. But what's below the Farlands? That was a little bit of a joke when I wrote. I actually don't really know. I think the Farlands just go down to the bottom of the world. I don't know for sure. That's kind of something I'd want to check out. Maybe investigate that. See what the Farlands underneath are like. But it would be kind of neat to see anyway. That's like one of my little things. I'm like, we've seen the regular Farlands. We haven't seen what lies underneath them. Like, how does the bedrock work? I mean, I'm sure it's just regular bedrock, but I'm just curious as to how that works. If it's just, like, if the terrain is just like a box and it's like normal caves. I don't know if that's how it works. So yeah, that's one of my little questions, my little queries. I'm like, exactly what lies below them? But that's not really an actual thing that people would probably talk about. That's just one of my like shower thought the shower thought statement kind of things that I might look into when I actually get to the Farlands. But I guess the last kind of thing I wanted to talk about, at least for the Q&A portion of the episode, so you can go after this next question if you were just here for the Q&A. I'm just probably going to do normal discussion for however long after that, and then just go no commentary, I'm sure, because I'm still waiting for a text from Devin about Oldcraft. I guess it could be from anywhere to 20 minutes to an hour and 20 minutes or more, so I guess we'll see. But yeah, I'll get on to the last point of the Q&A. Beyond the Farlands. I wrote that down. I thought of that, Beyond the Farlands. That is basically what I'm considering naming the series after I get to the Farlands. Because I'm going to be trying to do some stuff beyond the Farlands. I don't know. That's kind of one of my shower thought things as well. I also thought that, I mean, I know I want to build like a base, like a final base that I can have there at the Farlands there. I don't think it'll actually be inside the Farlands. I might have some portions of the base, like it'll be like maybe like a bit more of a labyrinthine style base where it's just kind of laid out over the landscape kind of thing, and it kind of delves into the Farlands, maybe with some tunnels and whatnot, railways. But yeah, I'm curious. Like I kind of want to do a railway at the Farlands. I've been meaning to do like 1,000 block railway in this series because that's the last achievement I need. It's gonna have to actually wait for the Farlands themselves unless I actually do scrounge up enough iron to make 1,000 block railway just the way it is, which that would take a lot of time. So I'm just saving it for the Farlands. Unless I have a huge outpost. So one of two things has to happen. Either the Farlands or huge outpost for that. But yeah, I want to do like a railway. And I think what I want to do, I mean, I'll have a lot of time to think about this. This is only like a third of the series right now. So, this is all very hypothetical and subject to change since it's going to be like a year or two away. Hopefully, I'm leaning more towards a year, but I don't think that's going to happen. I kind of hope it does. I'm going to have more free time, so I'm hoping that's how it's going to work. But, yeah, I want to do a railway in the Nether. And I know I talked about the Nether to like no end, but I am debating whether I want to do a railway back to spawn, which would be a 1.5 million block railway, which I don't think I would physically be able to do. Or a railway to the further lands, which is I could not reach those either. I mean, I could do, what is it, 30 million? So it'd be like 1.7. Oh. No, I might do a railway to spawn. I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding. That would be way too much work. I'm just joking. I mean, I might try that. I'm not saying I won't attempt it at the Farlands, but I'm just saying I don't think I would have the energy, especially after walking to the Farlands, to build a railway back to spawn in the Nether, 8 times the speed. We could go to like the like outposts. Like we could do like a railway to each outpost. I don't know how long a 1.5 million block railway would even take to ride. Like it would be a very difficult task. I don't see how I couldn't work backwards though. Like I could just go to like outpost 11 or that's my guess. 11 outposts. No, I'm kidding. It won't be. I don't think it'll be 11. We're at number 3. The next outpost will be outpost 3, and we're at a third. So I'm assuming it'll be like 7 outposts, 8. If I'm real stupid, maybe upwards of 9 or up. I'm gonna be eating those words in like a year when I reach the Farlands, and I'm like outpost 9. I'm sure if someone watches this and you're still around when I actually get to the Farlands, you can rub it in my face. You can be like, yeah, you had 9 outposts, but I'm not too sure on that. But yeah, that's pretty good. I was gonna talk about some other stuff. Yeah, I guess I could still do that, but I'll continue on what I was gonna say. But I'm gonna build like a nice base, definitely at the Farlands. But I think I want to really try and do a railway. It'll probably be diagonal, because I guess it'll have to be. It'll be a diagonal railway. Oh, it has to be in a straight line though. Shoot. I could do like the first portion of it in a straight line. Like 1,000 blocks. That's 8,000 blocks in the overworld. No biggie. No biggie at all. Prepare for the loud noise. I don't even know if that was that loud. Oh, you guys let me know. You guys at home. Well, I can't tell if that was anything. Probably not anything of importance. Usually surface spawners are exposed due to gravel or sand. Sometimes you find them in caves if you're high enough. Like I've found caves with spawners in them just completely exposed. That's something interesting that never really it appears in like I think after version release 1.0.0. That surface spawner thing where the spawners are exposed. That's something unique to the old versions. And it's not entirely common, I'd say, but for this series, where I'm walking so much, covering so much terrain, of course, they're going to be fairly common. But like if you're just an average Minecrafter, it is so uncommon, rare. You'd probably not find one unless you like went pretty far out, kind of thing. Most Minecrafters probably won't see them in their beta worlds. But if you ever want to take a step back from modern Minecraft, old Minecraft is always there. The old versions. I know some people take issue with old Minecraft just because it's old. I mean, for some people, that's all they really need to have criticism. That, oh, it's old, it looks bad. But I don't know. There's a charm, that definitely vibe I talked about in the Quirks of Beta episode 2, maybe 2, episode 2. So long ago. Oh, this lemonade isn't very hydrating. I have a different drink today, and my throat is very scratchy. It is carbonated, so I might need to get a water. That might be a thing I do. I'm gonna probably take a break just to kind of chillax for a little bit because I've been doing this for an hour now, this commentary thing. Although I'll probably do that after I'm wrapped up with my commentary, which I'm sure will be after this whole discussion. But oh yeah, there's one more thing I should mention. I'm not streaming it, but I am playing on a new Minecraft world. It may become a series. I'm not too sure, so I wouldn't get my hopes up about it becoming a series because I don't really want to make it a series, I'll be honest. But if I do get motivated enough, then I will make it a series. In a due course, like a month or a few weeks, or I don't know. Depends how long it takes for me to give in. But I'm curious. I'm doing this Java world, right? And I'm trying to figure out what I really need to do to make Java like a lot more meaningful. I mean, I did say like enjoying Minecraft again, but I enjoy Minecraft. That's not a lie. I enjoy Java. I enjoy all the stuff. I want to make it more meaningful. And I don't think it really holds much weight like modern Minecraft. I don't think much of it holds much weight for me anymore. I'm trying to fix that. So I've been coming up with ideas, and I've been watching Hermitcraft Season 3. I still have to watch Season 2. I'm going to probably wrap that up, I'm sure. But I want to watch TFC while doing the Journey of the Farlands, of course. So I'm going to be watching all those videos. So that'll certainly take a few months. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this new world, even if I don't have no real confirmation whether it's going to be a long-term endeavor or not. Almost sounds like I'm talking about early Journey of the Farlands. Which, if you had talked to me, like talked to me while I was like around that time, I would have generally said the same thing because I was fairly uncertain about that too. But just because I'm uncertain about something does not mean it's going to succeed. I don't know if I really realized that. I kind of found this formula with a lot of these SMPs and series that, like, if I feel content enough, then it's fine. I don't know. I've really had this, I don't know if I'd say discontent, but I don't value the gameplay loop of modern Minecraft as much as I do old Minecraft. Like, I'm doing old craft later. I mean, I'm going to be commentaried out like this. Like today, between today and tomorrow, like 2 commentary episodes today. Like 2 different episodes, of course. But 2 different episodes of 2 different series is both commentary. And a party tomorrow where I'm just going to be chatting up with a bunch of my friends. So, I mean, some of them on Java. Some of the Java members. But yeah, I'm going to be like, I'm going to be fried by Saturday. So I'm just going to be like, no commentary, no commentary. I'll have to do a modded episode too. I'll probably do that Saturday or Sunday. I'm hoping to edit the episode honestly tonight, but it depends when me and Devin finish Old Craft, because I don't know. I just don't know. But I don't know, something I've really I've seen, I've like viewed in Tinfoil Chef's videos since I've started watching his Journey to the Farlands series, is that he has a lot more stuff to talk about. You know, he was like, I guess in his 50s when he filmed his like earliest episodes in 2012. Cause yeah, he was 63 when in 2022, which I guess was a decade after. So he was like 53. So yeah, 50s. But so he has had a lot more to talk about in those early episodes, and he can talk about like Kerbal Space Program, which is a game he played. I don't play that game. I mean, it seems like a game I would want to play, but I just never got into it. Like the physics and designing. I mean, that seems just right up my alley since I have a big interest in physics. But I don't know. But yeah, he talks about that, and he also talks about like general politics and people, which I mean, I'm sure I could probably chip in on that kind of stuff. And he also talks about the charity, which he raises money for, Child's Play, which was I don't even know if it still runs. I'm sure it does. I mean, it's been a decade, but you know, I don't really think charity runs on a schedule like that anyway. I don't know, but yeah, TFC. I know Kurt raised money for that, but TFC also did, and he talks a fair bit about that and his goals and stuff, which I would love to do. Like I talked about that a long time ago. I know I've said that like on repeat. Like I've said that a long time ago, but it's true. I say a lot of things a long time ago that I don't say anymore. But or say like I don't say enough. But I would honestly love to do like charity work for like you know, make this series meaningful like in the real world. You know, let you guys chip in, but I don't really like have much of a viewer base, and you know, even if I did, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens if I reach that point where I can start doing charity stuff. That'd be really neat. Like I'd love to raise money for charity. And also like letting you guys influence things. I mean, I've tried doing that. Like, you know, Outpost 1 was influenced by a viewer. Or was it Outpost 2? I don't remember. But yeah, someone suggested I should do an underground base, and I was like, I should do an outpost. Not an underground base. I might save that one for Outpost 3 or whatever comes after that. Not that I can't count. I mean, like, whatever outposts in the future. But I don't know. I'm excited, and I really want you guys to, you know, give me your 2 cents. And I just love hearing what people have to say. Even you know, even with like if it's a bit more constructive, I don't mind. I have fairly thick skin. I'd like to think. I mean yeah, but yeah. I'll probably watch Hermitcraft 3 alongside. I think it's kind of neat to associate a certain YouTube series with one of my series or like things I do. So like I have like Sims stuff I watch when I'm playing Sims 2, which oh yeah, I gotta do that. Should I do that tomorrow instead of modded? I should probably do a Sims episode. I don't know if I want to double book 2 commentary episodes on Saturday though. So I'll work out a plan. I'm sure. See how busy Saturday gets for me, especially with the cleaning up and all that after the party, and you know driving around, people, you know, giving people rides and whatnot home, and so I'll have to figure out what I'm gonna do for Saturday. But yeah, that'll come. I'll come to pass, I'm sure, in some way or another, whatever I do. But yeah, I want to try and do. I mean, I'll probably do some no commentary during the Farlands for a while. I'm like my voice is pretty shot. I'm sure after today and tomorrow. Like if today and tomorrow don't do a number on me, I don't know what will. Because I'm gonna be like talking non-stop for 2 days. It's already started. Uh, but yeah, I guess there is more I could talk about. I could talk about the jitters. I could talk about old mods like modification station. I could talk about Mango Pack, which is the mod pack I'm playing on. Which the you yeah, the one of the YouTubers who upload trailers for Mango Pack, which is a mod pack. That's what I'm doing this modded series on. That I'm going to be uploading pretty shortly, hopefully. But what was exciting is that one of the creators who was uploading like all these trailers and stuff and was on Modification Station. I guess they must have checked me out from maybe that stream specifically. I get viewed by channel because they joined the community Discord, which is neat. I haven't formally like said hi, introduced myself or anything yet. I've been awfully busy. It's been a busy week, and I also have I forget things a lot. That's fairly common for me. So yeah, that is the way of being before. But yeah, I'm. Oh jeez, I got actually okay. I got jump scared by Notch's music. I didn't know it had that effect. Okay. I'm debating whether or not to end the episode. I'm gonna text Devin. Oh, I mean, if I don't end the episode, I'll just come back with no commentary because I feel like I'm pretty much commentaried out. I'm gonna need to take a bit of a rest on the vocal cords, get some water. I'll just take a break anyway. I'll be back, maybe with an outro, maybe with some no commentary. We'll see. I'll be right back. I guess it says break time, but that's okay. I forgot to change the text back. But yes, I'll be back with no commentary or outro. Okay, sorry to get a break short, but looks like I'm doing an outro. Devin, we're doing old craft, so I'm just gonna switch over to old craft in a few minutes instead of doing no commentary to the Farlands. So the vocal cords will not get a break. No, I'm just kidding. I talk like this a lot, so we are good. But I'm going to go, and I guess I'll talk to you guys. See you guys in the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I guess leave your comments. That's kind of a new thing I want people to do. I like hearing from you guys anyway. But yeah, I'll see you guys.